Listen up, folks. Cheryl and I might have just solved one of my biggest pet peeves in the shop. Trash. So I don't know if you can hear that or not, but my neighbor behind the shop is absolutely jamming on the drums. I actually need to get that guy in here maybe to do a little entertainment. This job does involve a lot of CNC work. This video is not about CNC cutting. Alley-oop, Cheryl. Aw, Cheryl. So I'm not gonna bore you with watching my little robot run around and cut circles that are mostly the wrong size except for one. It did cut out the backboard and the rim, but again, this video is not about CNC. It's about doing something creative in the shop. So let's get back to that. Here's the two pieces of the rim. I would like to tell you that everything came out perfectly because we cut this on the CNC, right? It's a magic machine. It does everything perfectly. It makes all the cuts, no work involved. I'm here to tell you that machine will do exactly what you tell it to. And what I told it to do was screw shit up. So I may or may not have had to use the old bandsaw to trim some of this to make it fit perfectly, but we are on the right track now. Everything lines up. We got things rounded over very nicely, sanded a little bit. Now, it's time for a little primer and paint. Oh, that's nice. It's real nice. I'll share a little secret with you because these roundovers looked pretty nice and I was going to put some like joint compound or something in there to fill this into where it didn't look like plywood anymore, but you know what? You know we got time for that. Cheryl ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. We're just gonna paint it. Before we paint, I do want to put a little glue on here because I don't want this thing moving around after I paint it, messing up my beautiful paint job. This is completely unnecessary. Like this whole project. Cheryl doesn't like to entertain me very often. She usually tells pretty good stories. Haven't had one in a while. Sorry, Cheryl. All right. Now we can. Welcome to the next day. As you can see, things have changed with our giant toilet lid here. I did not want to spend the time of filling in all this to make it smoother and more nicer looking, maybe look more like a rim. So what I did, I have a shop assistant. I had Cheryl do it overnight because for some reason she can't go stay at her own place. She has to stay at the shop every night. So last night I had her do the filling. Much smoother now, not perfect, wasn't going for perfect. I just wanted to look a little smoother. So now we're back to primer. Time to turn it orange. While we wait for our paint to dry, we move on to our other piece that is equally as important as the rim, and that is, ta-da, backboard. I want to kind of make it the shape of old kind of style backboards like I had when I was a kid, way back in the olden days. So all we're gonna do to this is do the same, just easing the edges, do a little sanding. I haven't decided how I'm gonna finish this. I think I'm just gonna put just some sort of clear coat on it to protect it. We're gonna run through that real quick while that paint's drying, because it's slow. You know, Cheryl, I don't think I've ever actually told you this before, but I kind of wish you would open up a little bit more while we're in the shop. It gets kind of boring just talking to the camera or myself. It honestly seems a little weird. So maybe you should just, I don't know, tell a few more of your stories. Open up to me, open up to the people. Let them know how you feel. Now that we're waiting on paint to dry again, we need to make a frame, of course, for this thing to stand on, which is just gonna consist of some 2x4s that I cleaned up by cutting off the edges. Gonna go kind of like this. This is gonna go in between here like this, and this, and then these are gonna go like this, and the backboard's gonna be up here like that. You can imagine. And you can also watch if you want. Eh? So we gotta be able to attach the backboard. I don't want to just run screws to the front. I'm not some sort of barbarian, crazy person that wants to do that. I'm just going to use some little angle brackets. I put this face down trying to get them level-ish. Better. And I can reach the holes better. These screws aren't exactly what we need, but they're fine. All right, I'll scoot you in closer to see what we did here. I just took a piece of a piano hinge, which worked great for this. This has got to be able to flip up to go above our trash can, you know, to hold our trash bag. Look at that, smooth. It stops right where it needs to. See, the only thing we see on the back is just the top of the hinge. Won't interfere with our 3-pointers at all. It's great. Look how orange that is. Very nice. The only thing I'm gonna add to make sure everything is nice and tight when it's holding the trash bag down, I cut some little strips of leather, which you can buy a bag of like scraps of leather at Hobby Lobby. I've done that quite a few times. It comes in very handy for, you know, things like this. But it's gonna make a real good buffer pad. Like that. So it squeezes down on that trash bag just a little. Kobe! Nailed it! Kobe! Kobe! Cheryl, alley-oop! He's on fire! Nailed it! It's a little bit of fun in the shop and actually functional. Check this out. So this is connected to the backboard, of course, so we can lift this up, move the can however we need to. But if we need to load a new bag in here, we throw the new bag, drape it over the can like you typically would, and instead of fighting the bag falling in there, right? Our new basketball hoop folds right down on there. Nice tight fit. Bag held in there. Bam! Now Cheryl can be dunking on people, huh? Who doesn't shoot baskets toward the trash can? Thanks again for watching and stick around till the end of the video. See you in the next one. Tell them, Cheryl.